Well, I'm delighted to be joined here in the studio now by Henriette Breukelaar, who's the Chief Executive of the Greater Birmingham and Solihull Local Enterprise Partnership. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me,
people
Colin.
that don't know too much about LEPS and your role, just give us a bit of a background.
So my role is quite easy. I'm the Chief Executive. The Greater Birmingham and Solihull Local Enterprise Partnership is a partnership between the private sector, the business community, local authorities, not just Birmingham and Solihull, but actually the functional geography, as we call it, into Staffordshire and Worcestershire, North Worcestershire as well, and further and higher education. And collectively, that partnership has been in existence for 11 years now, and it looks after the inclusive and sustainable economic growth in our region, supporting businesses, investing in infrastructure. A lot of the improvements and transformations you've seen in our town centres, and Birmingham City Centre, for example, was established and made possible with support from the Local Enterprise Partnership. And we do so to drive employment for local people and really improve the quality of life for all that live, work and visit our wonderful city region.
So you talk to then and network with a pretty wide range of people, don't you? So you get a fairly good idea about how people are feeling.
Absolutely, yes.
How are they feeling at the moment, do you think?
So the Commonwealth Games, and I can't go anywhere without mentioning the Commonwealth Games, was such a tremendous success. And if we could bottle the civic pride and the sheer joy that people feel about this fantastic place in the world, and you might be able to notice in my accent that I wasn't born here.
You don't sound like a local.
No,
yeah.
I've tried desperately to sound like a local, but I'm failing. But I've been here 22 years. I've seen this city transform, and I'm so proud of this place and the diversity and the way our communities kind of support each other. And they did so through the pandemic, and goodness, we shone on a global stage throughout the Commonwealth Games. So I think, although of course people are worried about the cost of living crisis, we are as a community standing together to support each other through what's going to be quite a challenging autumn and winter ahead.
We were talking a little bit earlier in the show about some of the spin-offs from the cost of living situation and the mini budget that we had a couple of weeks ago. How important is it from your point of view to be able to offer free support to local businesses, and do you think they understand what is available for free?
It's so important. If you are the owner or manager of a business, you probably know what the areas are that you need support in. But to find out exactly what support you need and where you might go to get it is really time consuming and can be very costly and therefore quite difficult for businesses to do. What we offer is one place where businesses can come and get that support with finding out what it is they need, which of course also depends on the stage of their life. Are they a startup business? Are they just about to scale up? Are they already matured? And do they maybe want to enter into new markets, for example? So we help them find out where are you in that journey and what is it you need, and then where can you go and get it? And we've done that for over a decade now. We're really tried and tested and trusted by local businesses. Our advisors know the local business community, and in the last 12 months alone, we supported over 1,700 businesses with over 8,000 hours of support.
Which is serious numbers, isn't it?
Serious
and how would
numbers.
that support be delivered? Is it some of that one-on-one? Would some of that be virtual? Is it networking groups?
It's a mix. As you might imagine, during COVID, it all went to virtual meetings, and that worked really well. I think, as many organisations found, our staff really stepped up to the plate, as did our businesses in terms of finding new and creative ways of supporting the business community. And in fact, we very quickly diverted £3 million towards supporting businesses throughout the pandemic, and our Pivot and Prosper programme, which particularly helped businesses pivot new business models to help them thrive on the back of the pandemic, not just survive, has been independently evaluated and has been found to have generated £15 of return for every pound we invested. So as a taxpayer, that's really good good to see. Of course, now we're delighted to go back to face-to-face meetings, and in fact our annual general meeting is coming up, and that's accompanied by a Better Your Business event, which is taking place in the fabulous Steam House facility, the new Birmingham City University Innovation Centre, on the 17th of November, and I'd urge anyone with an interest in improving their business to sign up.
We have our roving reporter Pam at the Steam House as we speak for Birmingham Tech Week, so we're able to see a little bit of that on the show.
Fantastic.
Do you want to talk in a little bit more detail about some of the specific support then that's available for businesses? You've mentioned maybe COVID support packages, but what are the particular areas? Is there international trade? Is there, I mean, what kind of things?
Yes, so when businesses come to us, we, as I said, we can offer a free place for them to go and explore what support they need, and we can do so because we are thankfully in receipt of European funding until the middle of next year to do that free of charge. So we talk businesses and take them through a diagnostic, and then the type of support they need, or they want, depending on their need, could be access to finance. To date, we've supported 28 companies securing in the region of £6.5 million finance, often very small businesses, and we've got 11 million in the pipeline. It could be support with recognising the value of their intellectual property. We've got a lot of creativity and inventiveness in the region. There's a value to that. Businesses need to understand that value and also how to protect that value, particularly if they trade and deal with overseas markets as well. There's things like our Clean Growth Programme. Of course, energy prices and energy consumptions is right up there for all of us, including businesses. So we run a grant programme that helps businesses invest in energy reduction, be it LED lighting, insulation, be it solar panels, programmable heating and so on, because we know that's such a concern. And then when it comes to things like export support, innovation support, even startup support, there's also a really rich ecosystem of business support in the region that we refer to. And of course, a lot of our local authorities, our Chamber of Commerce, our universities run really valuable programs, and we do work in partnership with all of them. We see ourselves as a provider, but also really as a signpost there.
And we'll be meeting a couple of the case studies that you've actually worked with very shortly as well to
on the
build
skills
on that
agenda.
from a skills point of view. Absolutely. What about looking to the future then? I mean, we've got local enterprise partnerships integrating with combined authority. There's lots of change and sort of jostling for position. How do you think the business support profile in Birmingham is going to look in the coming months?
I think there's still a lot to be resolved in terms of how business support will take shape in years to come. I know the Growth Hub in Greater Birmingham and Solihull will continue to run till the end of December 2023, so that's really good news for local businesses. What happens after that definitely needs looking at different funding streams. So the UK Shared Prosperity Fund has come in to replace European funding, really, but how that works in practice, there's quite a bit still to be resolved. What I am really confident about is that all stakeholders, including the combined authority, the local authorities and ourselves, are very acutely aware of the need to ensure that progression and transition is seamless for the businesses that need us right now more than ever.
And have you got a good dialogue and a collaborative spirit between the various organisations in Birmingham?
Absolutely. Not a week goes by without meetings taking place on how to best shape that.
Good job we can get out and about again then, isn't it? Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming in and giving us a taste. You'll come back and see us sometime soon, won't you?
I believe I will, yes.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Henriette. And as I said, we'll be finding out a little bit more, particularly from the skills debate, when we have a panel coming up in a few minutes' time.